projection is we'll probably trade right down in here, try and find support. And honestly, this is just going to be very reflective of what Bitcoin price action does. But that's kind of I think we're going to head down to this kind of area, roughly $80. And think about that. That's a $30 move from where we're at. That's another 28%, 32% move. It's pretty wild. Granted, this thing was trading 1,600, 1,700 about a year ago. Any questions on any of that so far, guys?
No, but I do have one comment on something that I touched on a little bit. A lot of younger people getting into this space are overly aggressive, and the fact that you guys touched on the difference of investing and trading is very important for people to realize. Trading is very difficult to do, obviously. Mike, you know that. You've been doing it for 10 years pretty successfully, and you know that you have to be right twice, once when you buy the stock and again when you sell it. But it is interesting that a lot of younger people, polls show that they're interested in getting into crypto, have to realize that there's a substantial difference between investing and trading.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, trading, it takes a lot of time and energy and 100% commitment, whereas you can be a passive investor and have a lot of success. It's all about layering in through time and understanding that you're in it for the long haul, and understanding that you can lose all that money, right? Whereas I would say a trader or a speculator, what we're doing is we're looking at certain key levels and say, hey, maybe you think something's trading 200. Okay, I'm willing to risk $10 on that. And hey, if it breaks that 190 level, I'm going to sit there and I'm going to wait. I'm going to try and buy it at 160 with the thought that it's going to 200. So then my risk reward is kind of 4-to-1. Very, very different profile than someone who says, I'm just a believer in crypto and I want to invest in crypto.
Right.
And you're 100% right. That's something.
Mixing those strategies of trading and investing, it can be very dangerous to somebody's portfolio.
I would definitely agree. And, I think that's a mistake a lot of people made in the space. I mean, I know a lot of guys that got involved in kind of these highs back in December and January, and even kind of late April, early May that, are wearing it right now. And I get a lot of questions on a frequent basis, what should I do? And quite honestly, the best advice I would have, and again, none of this is investment advice, this is all just my opinion, but the best thing I can say is you just layer in and build yourself a position. You're already wearing it. You're already sitting in the heat. Why puke,
Yeah, drive down your dollar average in.
Yeah, so here's another. So this is Gollum, GNT. This is something I watched very close. Look how close we are to this last support here. So these are April 17 lows at 8.5 cents. This thing is trading so cheap right now, in my opinion. Look how this thing has just been getting destroyed. I'm a big buyer here at 8.5. I think you could scoop it up at 8.5, run it all the way back to 11.5, 14 cents. You're talking about a 30 to 60% return, right? This thing could even trade 20% or 20 cents, excuse me. This is something it looks super bearish right now, but for me, from a risk reward standpoint, I have no problem buying 8.5. And if it goes down to 5, I'm just going to buy more. If it goes down to 2, I'm just going to buy more, layer in a position. This is something I really like.
Can I just talk about, I just want to get your opinion on something.
Yeah.
I just find this, all right, so we've been talking for about 4, 5, 6 months about this move to the downside, Bitcoin going to 3,000, which obviously takes almost everything else.
Yeah, we've been talking about it since July.
Yeah.
Or June, rather.
I find it really interesting that this is all happening less than a month before BAC goes live.
Well, remember, part of the dialogue that we've discussed is we have to see that market flush. And if you look at price action, right? If you look at price action, I'm just going to pull Bitcoin up because that's what most people watch. If you look at price action since May, or even since February, yeah, we had these crazy highs, but look at this, right? We've kind of dwindled down. And then another key thing is if you look at volatility, so let me pull this up. If you look at volatility, right? So what these are, this is volatility, right? So if we look at volatility across the board, it's been narrowing, 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 especially right here. So Bitcoin's the gray line. Look how close to zero we were. And then this dip is the move we just saw. This move is nothing. We're going to get to these magnitudes. See these wicks down here? This is the magnitude I expect this to move to the downside. And that's something we've been talking about all summer. This market has been winding up, winding up. Like imagine like a spring, right? You're compressing a spring, compressing a spring. Well, it was hard. It looked like we wanted to break to the top side. It really did. It looked like kind of here we were trying to break it out to the top side. It failed, and now we're moving to the downside. And this is what I expect to see. We have to see a flush, and kind of majority of people just kind of give up on crypto. And then guess what? What does that allow the institutional guys to do? Is they're going to come down here and scoop it up. I mean, I'm an institutional guy. I'm sitting here waiting, trying to scoop it up at cheap levels. Like, if you think about the run that happened in November, December, January of last year, yeah, a lot of people made a lot of money. But do you really think, and I'm not a conspiracy guy whatsoever, I'm just a realist. Do you really think big money institutions and the serious players in the world are just going to let a huge parabolic move happen and not be on the trade? No, they're going to get everyone to hold the bag, let the market grind, and then we're going to see people give up on it. And now this is when smart money's going to work. On this flush, this is when a lot of guys, I mean, I'm speaking with family offices on a daily basis. People are trying to get exposure to crypto, and that's why we're launching our algo fund in January. Is we're going to play from the long and the short side, leveraged, and there's going to be a tremendous amount of opportunity. And this is, again, something we talked about. We need to see this market flush out, and that's what we're seeing now. And to me, this makes me very, very bullish. Not yet, right? Not yet. I'm going to wait. But yeah, Tommy, I know I kind of went on a tangent there, but this is kind of the picture that we've been trying to paint for the last 6 months. Granted, has our timing been a little off? Yeah. Has the market tricked us a little bit and thought it was making a break to the upside instead of rather going down? Yeah, but this is kind of what we've been planning for and looking for the last 6 months. Did you have anything you wanted to add to that, Tom?
No, I just, something similar. It kind of reminds me of the dot-com bubble when everything was running up. I think it was in like 98. And then there was a short bear market, and all of the banks, all of the institutions were saying, when prices were selling off, they're like, oh, you can't buy these things, these are just terrible, because they missed the first wave.
Yeah, oh yeah.
And then they were the buyers at the bottom, and then they drove the price. And then what happened? 3, 4, 5, 6 months later, they're telling everybody to buy it. Oh yeah, this Amazon stock. You got to get in this. This is the future.
Well, and here's the misconception. What a lot of people think is when we have mass adoption and people are transacting on various cryptocurrencies, that's when price is really going to roll. No, that's when that volatility is going to dwindle down and things are going to be relatively stable, right? It's when you have your very conservative retail guys, your very tier 3 financial institutions start recommending this as an investment. That's when the guys are coming in to hold the bag. That's kind of when prices probably maybe come to a high, and you're going to see volatility tick down. Because if you're a vendor, you're not gonna accept crypto as a payment because it's too volatile, right? Your margins could get crushed. The only reason anyone's accepting payment in cryptocurrency is because they're taking a speculative bet that the thing is going to trade higher, regardless of what crypto you're accepting.
Unless you're a vendor in Venezuela.
Correct. Exactly. Unless you're a vendor where there's a liquidity crisis or you're in a hyperinflationary environment, right?
But there's not many of those people left. So
yeah. So, those are all key factors. But in my view, when you see things where you can go to a grocery store and purchase in Bitcoin or whatever crypto it may be, that's kind of when okay, this crazy move opportunity is not there. It's going to start trading in normal when 1 to 2% is a big move, just similar like equities or currencies or commodities. So anyways, I wanted to go over a couple more with you guys. So this is Litecoin. I know a lot of people watch and follow Litecoin. Very interesting. We have this topside resistance. We couldn't even come touch it. And that's, again, we have this horizontal bar that I've been watching, roughly $47, right? And if you look at 47, why is it significant? There's a low here. And we've broken that 47 and kind of look where we're coming. We're coming to this, you got to give or take because there's various exchanges. Let's call it 33 to 35. There's some support here. And then this is going to break it. I think Litecoin is going all the way back down to $20. I remember when I first got in the space, the thing was $3 and I saw it go to 20. I'm like, wow, this is rich. But this thing can go to 20. If it cracks 20, we're going to go all the way down to $5 to $3. I tend to think 20 is probably going to be the low. You have this wick roughly around $18. This is kind of what I'm looking for, is move to 20. And then if we extend this line down here, probably bounce back to 33. So I'm a buyer down here at 20. I'm trying to be real patient with Litecoin. But that's kind of my expectation.
What was Litecoin's all-time high?
I want to say it was 337.
Yeah, that sounds right.
No, 420. I'm sorry, 420. Again, this is on Coinbase. It could be different on other exchanges, but I'm just using Coinbase because it's one of the most liquid feeds. And so that's Litecoin. Let's take a look at a couple others. Let's see, we got OMG, NEM, Stellar, Monero, and Zcash. Is there anyone that you guys are particularly interested in?
Personally, I'm interested in Stellar.
Okay, let's take a look at Stellar. So Stellar, again, now if we remember what the last 4 or 5 charts we looked at, what they look like, Stellar is very similar to Ripple in the sense that it's been showing strength, not to the same degree, but we haven't really seen it break to the downside like the others have, right? And so this has been really interesting to me. We're still kind of trading in this range from 30 cents to roughly, let's call it 18 cents. Very interesting. I kind of expect Stellar to continue to trade sideways. Now, is there a possibility that this thing kind of comes and trades down to 14 cents or 10 cents? Yeah, definitely. Watching it very closely, kind of what I'm watching is this trend line right here. If this breaks, and it's roughly 20 cents, 19 cents, then we'll come down to this 18 and a half. And if that breaks, we're going to keep moving lower and lower and lower. But again, Stellar, I remember when Stellar was trading 3.5 cents, last, what was it? Again, it doesn't show this because this is a Binance feed, but I remember last August, it was trading 3.5 cents on Poloniex and 2.5 cents. And it was crazy. We saw it break out to 7 cents. Then it traded 14 cents. So I remember that first break was roughly around 13, 14 cents. And I think that's going to be the low here. So I like Stellar. It's hard to be a buyer here. I'm trying to wait till we see 14 cents. Again, this thing could break higher, but I think Bitcoin dragging it down is going to be a big weight on its shoulders, and I'm just going to try and be real patient with this.
Yeah, and I know there is a 2-for-1 hard fork. It's called Stellar Active coming up in December for Stellar. So we'll see how that impacts price as well.
In Wallow, one of the cryptos that's on Stellar's blockchain got listed on Bitfinex tonight. So that's a catalyst, and I know they're doing a $125 million airdrop of coins.
Right.
There's several things going on, but Tron is a perfect example. They did all this promotion, and at the end of the day, people don't want to own it. They don't want to own it. But yeah, Stellar is very interesting to me. I feel pretty neutral on it right now, but that could change.